one final thought for today. What if, so remember back in 2021 when we all first started this whole thing and we all were like, we're going to find out what's going on here. And then somewhere along the way, we stopped doing that and we started chasing fairy tales and, starting kumbayas on Twitter, and just the circle jerk of misinformation began. Now, imagine fucking this. What if every single person, instead of wasting time and wasting everyone else's time talking about nonsense they don't ever understand, what if we all looked into this and collectively understood what the fuck was going on, and then collectively, as far as learning, understood how to individually generate revenue in the market? Then we could all buy more AMC and GME, leading to more effect and upwards price movement. But they bet on the fact that no one is going to want to do this, or very, very few, because it's a lot. You see this map here? All of this shit is connected. Salomon Brothers in the 1980s started this whole thing, which led to the Bear Stearns. They were in the fearsome foursome with Merrill Lynch and Lehman Brothers back in the 70s. Ken Griffin partnered with one of the alumni from Salomon to work on the Citadel Securities infrastructure and technology that you see today. The Big Bang of 1998 caused the spread from Japan and the United States, and Salomon Nico, and then you had Salomon Smith Barney being acquired by Travelers Group, which was acquired by Citicorp, which was acquired by Citigroup Global, which was then split off and done a joint venture with Morgan Stanley. And then you have UBS AG and Salomon Smith Barney, who joint basically on the IPO for GameStop. And then you have Michael Bloomberg, who used to work in Salomon, who basically ran for New York mayor the same day that the September 11th attacks happened. His first primary was that day. And speaking of World Trade Center, WT7 was bought by Salomon Brothers, the SEC, Secret Service, and many other government agencies before the trial in 1991 even happened. Now, this all led to the '08 crisis. Now, the '08 crisis was caused because of derivatives, which was created back in the fearsome foursome of the 70s. Big, big thing. IPO fraud, all that bullshit. Oh, by the way, you do have Gary Gensler's twin brother, Rob Gensler, in here as well. You had Berkshire Hathaway's Warren Buffett come in to bail out Salomon in the 90s. He was the people's person, because that was the first time in history that the public knew about a Wall Street scandal, so they had to get someone in that everyone liked, which was Warren Buffett, who was also the biggest shareholder of Salomon at the time, filled in as the interim CEO. Now, Alan Greenspan was the one that called on him. He was the one who was in charge of the Fed back at the time. Guess who led the investigation into that scandal in the 1990s? None other than Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell, the Fed's Jerome Powell, that's right. And by the way, derivatives were pioneered by Salomon, which led to LIBOR to SOFR, 400 trillion in products, which led to the on-RRP, which was from the Fed. The lever flipped, reverse repurchase, 2021, credit crisis, leads to collateral crisis, leads to the death of the underfunding market, leads to the money market funds bailing everybody out, and the stimulus checks and COVID and all that great shit. But yeah, you wouldn't know all this stuff unless you learned it, and you wouldn't learn it unless you took some time to learn it. But no one's doing that. Everyone's jacking each other off. Everyone's in a kumbaya state, while the stocks just keep going down and keep going down and keep going down, because they're just deleveraging from SLR. That's all they're doing. And then you could have been selling premium this whole time on the massive stack of shares you have, but you don't want to learn how options work. You just want to sit online and complain. So why not this? Why not all start fucking learning? Then you might actually have a chance to beat this fight that you all think that you're in. Or you could just do this individually, ignore the bullshit, and then carry on your merry way. Have a good one.